Right, and we are a go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to yet again another stream. The first whole stream of 2025. That's scary to say, considering we are now 10 days in. And we're starting precisely an hour late. Oopsies. As you can probably tell by the title, we are in Voyage tonight. Back on Burke and Hans. Oh, that's always going to be Burke and Hans, isn't it, really? But today we are in an ex-Avanti, in the sort of Avanti cross-country hybrid livery. Today, well, to be fair, I didn't know which unit ran this today, and I did have a look. It's 116. Tonight we're running with 114, but 116 is in there. My stupid brain cells had the opportunity to change that. But we're live now anyway, and I'm not wasting any more time. So, without further ado, let's unpause the game. We'll get into the cab. So we're pretty much ready to leave now. Waiting here a little while. It's sort of as someone's sound mod overlaying the AP sound pack. To be fair, it's alright. Right, without further ado, run forward. Buzz back the guard, DRA off, signal is clear. Time to pop into step 1. You don't see me in the exterior view much. I don't really like the sounds on the outside. As you're going tilt off, as is now with all Avanti voyages, the transferring to cross country. Cross country do not use that system. Yeah, we're running off today's 1 Charlie 1 1, Temple Meads to Plymouth. Leaving Plymouth pretty much on time, 20 to 7 in the morning. We are expected in Plymouth by TSC24 9. So it's about a 2-hour run. It's not too bad. However, we are first calling point of Taunton this morning in around about half an hour's time. We then called at TV Parkway, Exeter St David's, Newton Abbot, Totnes, and into Plymouth. So overall, it's quite a nice run. Just coming over Bristol West Depot, West Junction. Just putting in I was just holding notch 1 to bring us back up to 25. And I'll bring a notch 1 and floor it. So we are now in the 90 limit. And in 0.2 miles, Bedminster, our first station pass. You know what? Let's go up there and get a flying shot. Might as well. Pretty good. The sounds from the exterior of the sound pack aren't great, are they? In the cab though, it sounds quite good, I'll be honest. And certainly this Voyager is quite nice to drive. We're hitting maybe about 70 mph by the time we hit the platforms at Parsons Street. After that, it's a bit longer till our next station pass. Sometimes do that. Pretty much warning tones may turn a bit tuneful. It's not a bad view from... My god, can that warn me? Sod, that's been turned off. Is that just going to keep catching me out like that but not tell me then? I ain't keeping that on. When I'm in the cab it can stay on. But when I'm out of the cab, no it can't. Alright, floor on it. Yeah, it's quite a chill drive, this is. Obviously, we're a single set going down to Plymouth. It's not a lot more, really, is there? It's just a chill single set. Oh, it will 1-6. Today backed onto an Aberdeen diagram. Wow. Which is something it will complete at basically 19 to 9 tonight. In fact, its next station stop is actually Aberdeen. Just gone through Montrose 1 minute late. It'll get that back though. I'm actually going to see where it goes after that. Okay, it goes down to Edinburgh. And then it'll probably back on to... It's not Craigentinny, is it? It will be Craigentinny. Wow, that's a surprise. Don't know why I didn't think they'd take on Voyages. But here we are. So you're just going up to 97 now. 98, 99. Easing back off on the power. Notch 1 is still very powerful. I have a feeling the physics aren't right. In fact, what's schedule say at the moment? Past Street 43. It is currently 46. Nelson Backwell 47. Okay, we're going to be running about like a minute late due to the breakdown. But that's fine. Running a stable 60 FPS. Very good. Yeah, I mean, even with the breakdown, we're running, around about on time. So I don't know, I'm actually quite impressed. So obviously we've had the break dump already, but yeah. True, good evening, how you doing? Looks good, doesn't it? I love the X20 Voyages. Partially because I've looked through their window in first class when there was one sat at Plymouth. In fact, that video went out this morning. Um, the interior looks so nice on the Avantis. First class just looks like luxury. Yeah, I'm doing match history. Looked at the amount of editing I've got to do later. It looks scary, but half it's just SDR footage. And I'll get the other two done later on as well. But no, it's not the stock Voyager. True, this is the Just Trains one. With a reskin from Train Sim Community. It's actually pretty chill driving this. Of all things I could find relaxing to drive, I find a bloody Voyager relaxing to drive. Of all bloody things, it's this. Yeah, fair enough, true. Of all things I could actually enjoy driving, and it's this. What is wrong with me? Yatton? Yep, that's Yatton. What are we running now? 6:50. We are running 1 minute late. Okay, you're running 1 minute late. It's only 1 minute. I've seen cross-country voyages running a lot later. So I'm practically on time. You know, I'm basically on time. I'm just holding notch 1 and this is just slowly accelerating. This is amazing. Ah, righto, true. I will... Okay, got nothing there. I'll quickly fix that. Thank you. Oh, I need to turn off... Oh, I need to turn off streamer mode because otherwise it won't show me the link. Let me turn that back on now. Yes, enable. Thank you all. Alright, just bear with me a second. And yoink. So that should now work, hopefully. You mind checking that for me, please, Drew? See if that does still work. Oh, see if that new one works. Should do. Ah, yeah. Pretty good, cheers, Drew. To be honest, I didn't even know that link expired. Yeah, well. Anyways, well, you are standing way too close to the platform edge. I'm going 99. Absolutely not. Let's go get back over that yellow line. Good. Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah, about to pass over Well Junction as well. To be honest, Drew, that is a very good question I can't answer. God knows why it does it. And yeah, I don't really have an answer. Yeah, up there. We've already been able to turn off, haven't we? Yeah. So, right up there is Western-super-Mare. Believe it or not, that is Western-super-Mare. There it is. It's loaded. Been here once. Yeah, could do true. I don't do guests on many streams anymore, to be fair. Sort of back in the day, that was very, like, numerous that you'd see a guest. Like, every so often. Half time it'd be Oscar, because he's the only one that actually wanted to. But yeah. That's being turned straight back off. Just guys, you flying along in a Voyager, enjoying the sights. That's 100. The uphill junction. You're about to see that come back in. That's the other side of Weston-super-Mare. Any second. I think it's just there. Right, trains? No, not trains. True. Bugger's sake, you can tell it's a Friday night. There it is. So that's the other side of Weston. Coming up and rejoin. Which I'll probably chat to you in a bit. Nearly up to 110. So we're now 55. Raphill Junction 54. So we might be running. Excuse me? What are you intervening for? Out tilt, am I actually limited to 110? It's a joke. Okay, tilt's going back on. I can get somewhere above. CL. This is very unrealistic. Yep. Just dump my brakes. Even if I go to 111, I don't have much reason to go above 110, but as soon as it hits the 110 threshold, I'm done. Which means I'm going to want to painfully crawl around at 109. What? 110, like I'm actually booked. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bloody annoying. I'm booked for 110. Let me go 110. Thing is, the annoying thing here is you cannot fully disable your tilt. In real life, that's fully off. You can bomb at 110 if you really, or 125 if you really wanted to without a tilt. But in game, it's so frustrating because you have like tilt on permanently. So see a mash showing. E, I presume it means driver. So nothing here works. Oh wow, it's actually just like a working fire alarm. Don't see how it's going to come in helpful, but okay. It's got a sander on it as well. Nope, don't have a sander. Light Bridge and Burnham, what we like now? Ooh, that ain't good. We are just over 1 late. That's fine. Bridgewater 7:01. We've got 2 minutes to cover that. And I'm holding a pretty stable 110, so I don't really care. To be honest, it's a pretty straight track anyway, so I'm not too worried of, say, you know, having a tilt have to be on after I drop down to 100. Right. So we're nearly at our first station stop. Which, to be fair, is about right. We've done... Well, we take off the outro, take out introduction time. We're going for about like 24 minutes. 22, 24 minutes. So, in reality, we are pretty much booked to stop anyway. And it is a clean half-hour drive. So, yes. It's meant to take us 9 minutes to get from Bridgewater to Taunton. Then 12 from Taunton to Tivy. And then a further... Oh no, sorry, it will take 11 from Taunton to Tivy, precisely as well. And to Exeter will take about 14. To Newton will take about, well, 12, no, about 13. Totnes will take us 11. Then to Plymouth will take us, I think, just over half an hour. So, it's a pretty solid drive, to be fair. I quite like it. It is a really good drive. I don't think that will stop getting annoying. Bridgewater, we're probably going to be running 2 minutes late. It's annoying. Just like that. Goodbye, Bridgewater. We are running, yeah, about 2 minutes late. We'll be able to gain all of that back at Exeter, as long as it's within 6 minutes. We'll also have like the standard wait times and things. We'll do this like proper driving. So, obviously, 1 minute at Taunton, 1 minute at Tivy, 6 at Exeter, 1 at Newton, 1 at Sutness, and we terminate. Right, we do need to get a move on though. We are due into Tivy in, no, not Tivy, Taunton, in about 5 minutes. And I wouldn't say we've got like a lot of driving to do, but you know, we've still got a little bit to do. So, yeah, this might be something that I sort of have to gain back at Exeter. So, yeah. Like at Exeter, if I'm running under 5 minutes late, well, under 6 minutes, then I can get all that back in my book stop and leave Exeter bang on time. The fact that I actually left Bristol like a minute early, I'm still running late, is slightly concerning. Yes, welcome to the Somerset Flats. This is well known for flooding, is, well, to put it nicely really, this is very renowned. I think last year, it might even have been 2023. Time goes so bloody quickly, I have no idea. This, like, the water, I think, was actually up to the railhead. So obviously that had flooded all along here. Let me see if I can find a photo of it. Obviously I won't be able to show it on stream, but I can at least say when it was. Oh, cog load, okay. That's good. Flooding. 2024. Okay, yeah, it was actually. Yeah, looking at photos of it here, there are like flood sirens, everything. It really was. Yeah, something, I suppose you could say. Yeah, because Somerset is like quite flat. Obviously, you know, if you drown the ground, that won't soak up the water. So, to some degree, it will just sit on the surface and flood. Obviously, because it's flat, you've got a large area, but you know, it'll all fill up at the same time. The bridge at Cocklow, I think, was fine, but the rails weren't. I think Taunton might have been fine. Up by Cogload. And up towards Bridgewater definitely wasn't. What that sign say? That's an NRN code, that's reasonably helpful. It is. Ah, good. Remember that next time I'm doing like a, what's it called? A thumper. I actually think. These ones don't sound decent. They don't sound good. I was accidentally pressing the D key instead of the E. Oh, I'll probably need to take throttle off anyway. NRN zone 98 is what we're in now. Bugger, I need to go into... I'm getting into the wrong platform here, aren't I? I can't change it either because I'm going too quick. Oh well. Passengers have to go on from platform 3 instead of 2. TBS, good evening, how you doing? I expected the brakes to be a little bit better than this. Bugger. I'll actually deploy full emergency. You can probably release that out of emergency now, can't I? Yeah. Stop around here. That's what route we're taking. Tonight we are following the schedule of 1 Charlie 11 Bristol to Plymouth. Doing that on Birkenhance tonight. I think I have an addiction to this route. It's quite fun to drive, to be fair. But yeah, basically taking this the full way. Yeah. I don't know that signal's lit behind. That shouldn't be. Am I going to get to you from the guard? Or not? It's on Train Sim Classic, TBS. Yeah, now leaving Taunton we have... I don't know how many miles. It's 11 minutes, so... Yeah, we're pretty much straight 100 mile per hour running. We'll go on a slow fan. To be honest though, DBS, this is with a good few enhancements on it as well. For example, there's RW Enhancer, AP, Sky and Weather. So a good few enhancements on this, but to be honest, the quality has improved, I suppose you could say. Time to floor it. I'm about 1 to 2 minutes late, so yeah. Norm Fitzwarren, 7:13. You might still pass at about 17:13. Actually, probably about 17. Where am I getting that from? 7:13. I actually probably pass around 7:14, which means we're only a minute behind. So yeah, about exactly 1 minute. It's not really that bad. Yeah, that's right, DBS. Yeah. The only problem with that is that route is very unstable with the enhancements. Like, the stability is it's a bit naff. But other than that, the enhancements are good. So, yeah. Good few tones. Ready DSD going off again. I could turn that off, but realism. Well, off Birkenhance, I wouldn't think so, DBS. That is quite a long, like. Oh, so you're talking about West Coast Main Line. I am an idiot. Anyhow, so going back to what you actually meant, it's a good question of whether they actually will extend that to Manchester or Liverpool. I don't think they will, because they haven't even stuck to what the base train sim route gives. For example, the base West Coast Main Line South that you get in Train Sim Classic goes away to Birmingham. TTG have only taken that to Milton Keynes, so in a way I don't think they'll take that, much further. So, yeah. To be fair, I don't think that'll get. I think if it is going to get extended, it might be to like Birmingham or somewhere to like match what TSC gave. This corner's a bit aggressive. So this is Wellington, I believe. About another minute late. So I suppose so, DBS. Although with West Coast Main Line on Trainsim World, I'm a bit annoyed they didn't extend it literally 1.5 miles up to Wolverton, because then you could do, for example, refurbishment moves to Wolverton Works. That, I think, has lost a lot of functionality in the route, but I suppose Milton Keynes. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it vaguely makes sense to Milton Keynes, but 1.5 miles, that would have been nicer. Then I said refurbishment moves, all of that. That just opens up opportunities. So the route could have been so much better, but I suppose we cannot complain. It's still pretty good, apart from the instability issues I've already brought up. That's true, DBS. Yeah, a crew would be quite nice, because then you can, run a good few rail tours through there, and obviously LSL. You've got their depot there. True, yeah, the rendering would be mental. Give some tones to the track side, just that. Yeah, the rendering would be pretty mental. But that would sort of enter quite a lot of playability though. Because obviously, if it's a modern day crew, then, HS, rail tours, you name it, it's possible pretty much. Yeah, as we just came out of Whitehall Tunnel there, we are now in Devon, no longer in Somerset. And as soon as you get into Devon, hear all the trees. Yeah, DBS. Well, Great Western Express, I think they are in the process of. It is taking them a good while, though. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah. And there's the next stop, just over 1.5 miles away. But yeah. Great Western Express, I think they're in the process of updating. They've been working on that for a good while. Bit annoyed that they haven't released any dates, though. I'm not sure, DBS. I think it might have actually been Trainsim 2020. Trainsim was 2020 that had GWE. Once again, I'm going a bit too quick. Brakes on this are rubbish. God. I'm starting to bite a bit more now, which is good. No, where the hell do I stop here? Oh, there. I'll stop there. That's where I'll stop. I have DBS, yeah, I've disabled the tilt on this to keep with real life. However, if I want to go near 110, I have to turn it back on. Pretty decent stop. Approach on the mark as well. The marker's literally just there. But yeah, no, cross country have disabled it. I think it's because a lot of drivers no, any day I'll actually get that interlock light. There we go. Oh yeah, I don't like this sound mod someone's done for it. Does not sound good. As for the tilt, yeah, I think it's gravitational. Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I think these sort of go with the geometry of the track, and then the pendos actually have the computer, which obviously then tells them every which way to go. Yeah, so the pendos is really weird when you look at the pendos tilt system compared to the Voyagers, because yeah, the Voyager is gravitational, which is why it cannot run at the EPS, the enhanced passenger speeds. Whereas a Pendolino obviously has the computer automatically detect where it is on the route, and then how sharp the upcoming curve is. So then that, because in the Pendos, then power assisted, not gravitational. Which is then why Pendos can run at EPS speeds, but yet these cannot. Yeah. So the Pendos are power, but these are not for some reason. Oh well, I still won't complain. Both are quite nice. Yeah. The Voyagers are gravitational, but the Pendos powered. Set past good old TV Junction there. We are now, was it like 12 minutes away? About 14 away from thingy, Exeter. Due there in 9 minutes. So I think we are now about too late. Yeah, that's right, DBS. In fact, I think they might have even. I want to say Pendos are 155, but they might have been reduced back to 140 because of the issues with the APT. Then in-cab signalling is an absolute pain. So DBS, that's a good question. With cross-country, and with cross-country's geometry, like track-wise, they're 125 permissible. Avanti, I think, had the same thing, but on corners they were 110. as opposed to 125, I think. So they were capped on the corners, I think, whereas the Pendo wouldn't be, I don't think. But on like straights, you can easily get this spot to 125. And cross country don't have any real limits at all. It's if your line speed says you can go to 125, go for it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's on sort of the Devonshire. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, they don't intend on electrifying it. They'll obviously have to at some point. Yeah, I know Devon and Cornwall have said, like, you ain't putting wires up. No thanks. And yeah, weather issues and primarily Dawlish. We're also, I think, worried about like Penzance and things, because Penzance is right on the coast, and well, 2014 can very well explain why Dawlish won't. Because the weather in Dawlish is just generally very brutal. Yeah, that's right. And I think certainly, even up in Scotland where there's been like really bad weather, I think they've even switched off the OHLE, save only run diesel. I think that's happened before. So yeah, I remember Dawlish Beach Cams uploaded one. I think with the most recent storm, I can't remember what it was. My God, there's enough of them to think of. The southwest down here have so many different storms. It's hard to keep track of the names. And, you know, the worst part is... Oh, yeah, that's the thing, DBS. They've thought of that. You know, like cutting up via... Yeah, the one that bypasses the coast. That would have come down Heathfield, I think, and rejoined at Newton. But to be honest, Heathfield is in a really bad place at the moment. The track fully collapsed. Like, pretty much. Imagine Dawlish 2017. No, Dawlish 2014. That's pretty much what Heathfield looks like at the moment. I've seen videos of it. It looks horrendous. But yeah, the thing is, they could very easily go inland, but you also ain't going to reinstall like anything up via the moors. Yeah, I think they've already said they won't do anything to through Dartmoor. So, yeah, so that would have gone like up via Rockhampton and then shot down through Meldon and then rejoined, I think, at Beer Ferrers. But they've shut down that proposal, I think, because they ain't going through the moors. They cannot come back down through Heathfield at the moment because that's number one, collapse. Number two, it's illegal to run anything on there anyway because it's so effectively buggered. So at the moment we're only stuck really with Dawlish. And yeah, as you say, when Dawlish closes, it's the line closed or it's very disruptive. Not to mention, it is a pain. Um, like the last storm, we've had, what was it, 5 IETs break down, I think it was. Not to mention, there's been a storm where 14 failed once. Like, and I will go to the IETs. They are not purpose built for the Southwest. You know, I think the whole concept of the 802 was also to tackle the Devon Banks. It can tackle the Devon Banks quite well, but after the Voyagers had issues through Dawlish, then yeah, I think all trains had to be built to a standard to withstand Dawlish. And yet, was it 9 years on from the IETs? They still fail every single storm. It is honestly a bit depressing. They just fail every single time without fail. Yeah, that's right, DBS. Like, the IETs are not built for Devon. But, you know. I need to set the route up in Exeter, don't I? Nice. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah. Yeah. And DBS, here's the thing. I've heard from some of my driver mates, an IET, it'll beat an HST to 45 mile per hour, right? Yet after 45, an HST, it's gone. That thing's flown away from you before you know. Just calling around here because I don't know what my signal is. What is it? Is it single yellow for me? I cannot tell. It's right there, I think. Yep, single yellow. Yeah, you're not wrong, TBS, to be fair. Just because it's modern doesn't mean it's without its problems. You know. And this is the thing. This country is just generally a wasteful country. You know, getting rid of HSTs left and right. Yes, the cab isn't what you'd call safe. Its fiberglass is extremely brittle. But there's also the talk of they're not environmentally friendly. And to be honest, I was doing a little bit of research. You know, as you do. And I did find out MTU have actually made a 100% hydrogen kit for that exact model MTU engine that's in the HSTs. So at the end of the day, you can make the HST hydrogen. You just need to convert the current engines. There we are. That's just approach controlled, mate. Single yellow into platform 4. How late am I running? Near enough on time. That'll do. Yeah, to sort of address the point of the cab, I've been chatting with some of my mates, and one of them brought up you know, sort of in the fiberglass cab, and we make an aluminium one, but then add a roll cage to it as well, and that will vastly increase the safety of the cab. Yeah, it's the thing though, DBS. I'm pretty sure it would have cost less to fully overhaul the HSTs than it would be to buy more IETs. Not to mention their reliability is night and day. And not to mention as well, one of my driver mates ended up once failing with a power car at Penzance. Yeah, so one power car down from Penzance, right? Then worked up to Plymouth, 2 minutes late on one engine. Oh bugger, I might overshoot my marker here. Slam on full service, yeah, that'll do. But yeah, at the end of the day, an HST is one of those things, you know, you can rely on it. And to be honest, DBS, I don't think I'd do a very good job. Oh. I actually need to wait here, don't I? I'm not booked off here until 43. It is DBS, yeah, and it's one of those ones that's very well liked by enthusiasts. Mostly because, at the end of the day, they're 50 years old nearly. You know, I think from the day they started being built, this is their 50th year. Their half centenary. And if you think about it, they've really, they've shown why they've stuck around for 50 years. They're reliable. They're very well liked with enthusiasts. Their seats are comfortable as well. And I have spoken to a few drivers before, and a lot of them do prefer the IETs for safety, but some of them do still bring up how they like when you put on the power, you can hear it directly behind you, and you can feel the power. So you can feel it as you're driving. So, yeah, and also, not to mention, if you have a failure, you can potentially even hear the fault behind you if you're an experienced driver. Whereas in an IET, both driving cars are dead, so you cannot actively hear it. It does DBS, yeah. It is 140 capable. Another 2.5 minutes sat here. Fun. The thing is, it does have the capability for 140. You'd have to, push your HST a fair bit to meet it, but it can very well do that. And I know the Network Rail yellow power cars have been fitted with ETCS. What level is it? It's level 3, isn't it? Or is it level 2? Let me see. Okay, so I think this is just general ETCS. Although, what'll end up happening is I can't remember what the East Coast is being put on. I think it's being put on like level 3, or is it level 2. I'm gonna have to Google this as well. ECML, level 2. So let's see what this defines as, because I don't know. I'm actually curious, what does level 2... Ah, here we go. Where does it say it? Yes, mean a continuous radio link to all trains using the present GSMR infrastructure, with fixed block sections to keep trains safely apart. Initially, the line size signals will be retained as changing over from conventional signalling to in-cab signalling within a single stage is not practical from either an operational or a technical consideration. Europa lasers will be installed between the rails to give positional references, and the level 2 conventional train detection equipment is retained, track circuits or axle counters, and lasers will be aligned to those sections. So, in a way, we have it is now time for us to leave. Yeah, well, I think that basically means still a minute late. Oh well, don't matter. So, yeah, what that basically mean is the same system that was effectively in service of the 373s still retains somewhat that same concept. To be honest, it's pretty good. Some routes do DBS, yes. For example, ChatMOS will use the right-of-way indicators. However, they're not like used throughout train sim yet. Which is a bit of a shame because there are a few places I know that will run RA. But yeah, it's very like limited, like the RA capabilities. Flooring out 75. So we're now on the Riviera line now, up until Newton, where we branch off for the Devon Banks to take us all the way to Plymouth. Devon Banks in question being Dainton straight off the bat, Rattery the other side of Totnes, and then Hemerdon on the approach to Plymouth. Oh, and there's Mutley Tunnel, which is a slight gradient also into Plymouth, if you want to count that. But yeah, I could do this bit HUDless, like down towards pretty much now all the way to Plymouth. But you know, I usually keep the HUD on because even though I can effectively tell you what the signals are or speed limits, I just don't know when the rear of my set actually is in effect of the speedboards. That's one thing I need to learn like across a bunch of stock. That's the thing, DBS. Train Sim World and Train Sim Classic aren't like too efficient on their rendering. because both games are unoptimized to some degree, which means, yeah, they're not like optimized or anything. It's pretty much, yeah. You could even have like an RTX 4090 and it would struggle. That is a very good question, DBS. I'm not sure. There's an opportunity, if Pentos to then be sent back to 155. However, I don't think it's anything on the horizon. So, I think very much for now it's going to stick to Moorgate. Yeah, HS2. It's an interesting route, I suppose you could say. Like, that at the moment is very, like, we don't know what's going on. And I suppose we won't for time to come because the legs were scrapped, they seem to be coming back. It's all very haywire. West Coast HSTs. So DBS, you're talking like the Riviera, Plymouth and all that. So we do still have HSTs down here. They only run as far as Exeter anymore though. Penzance to Plymouth most. Oh, sorry, West Coast Mainline. Yeah, they did have HSTs before with Virgin, but then re-engineering happened. They then ceased. I think you still have the NMT on there, and sort of like HS2 as well. I remember this spot very well. It's a 200-mile post. So at this point, we're 200 miles away from the buffer stops, Paddington Platform 1. This reskin's actually quite a good one. Especially how you've got like weather on the front. The yellow looks more accurate as well. To be honest, the vinyls are quite sharp as well. My only nagging point with this reskin is that nothing's been done to the board here. Because on the Avanti ones, you've got like the black surround on the destination, and you've got white text. So they've been upgraded quite a fair bit. This is still showing roughly what cross country still run, with the yellow text and the white surrounds. And so obviously Avanti no longer run that. Train cluster runs alongside the Eurostars, the 395s, I think. They're alright. Well, who am I kidding? They're built by Hitachi. Am I getting 50 FPS? Damn. To some degree, DBS, yeah, I think. Especially since when the cracks happened I'm pretty sure cracks were found on the 395s and the 385s as well. This wasn't like an isolated IET-ish, I think. But in some way, they're not like, you know, wholly like IETs. But yeah, Vanti do go all out on their units. And I'll say this. When Avanti refurbished these, they did that right. I suppose it's, yeah, something like that, TBS, yeah. I do have a timing point here at Starcross. Yes, I do. We are already running a minute late. When's my next? Over 1 minute engineering allowance at Tavistock Junction. Other than that, I do not have any other, like, free time slots. So I have to gain all that back myself through how I drive. Although, if I'm a minute late, that ain't too bad, is it? But yeah, I'll tell you one nice thing that this livery has on it. It's like all these little bits where they've added filler, I think. Looks really quite cool. That's like the cosmetic on it as well. You know, so little places where they put filler. That's honestly a really nice touch. That's one of my favourite training livery. That's difficult because I've got like 3 favourites. Like 50s, 37s, HSTs, 150s. It's very hard to pick, like, one. Like, I think on the 150s it has to be FGW. I mean, call me boring, but for me it's plain blue on the 150s. That does look pretty nice. And especially since it's the only surviving bit of mainline First Great Western we have. Even so, they're due to go to refurbishment soon, so it annoys me. It does annoy me that they're refurbishing it soon. At the end of the day, as you say, 150s have character. You know, one thing I cannot be is just, you know, being on the Riviera line, just hearing, you know, a 150 thrashing. But yeah. FGW definitely has to be my favourite livery, especially since my favourite 150, 319, is one of the only 2 still to be in that livery. Overall, 219 is just a very good 150. Yeah, going back to the sound, nothing beats riding on a 150 on the Riviera say if you've been stopped at Dawlish or something, you're just hearing it thrash all the way out. Like for me, you know, it's just such a good sound. Especially also since they've got the openable windows as well, hopper windows. So you know, if you're by the exhausts, you know, open the window. Oh, it sounds amazing. Yeah, just near the exhaust, it's unbeatable because yeah, you've got the exhaust right behind you anyway, so you can hear that through the walls of the unit. Not to mention, yeah, as I said, crack window open, and you can hear all that thrash as well. Yeah, another iconic sound, which very unpopular unit. That flange sounds horrendous. It's on the IETs, and it's when you've pulled off on diesel, and the turbocharger kicks in. Like for me, that is a very good sound. It's like, and you can hear the turbocharger kick in. I don't know why. It sounds like quite a cool sound. However, usually drivers just slam it into power, and the turbo's already spooled up. But say if a driver's pulling off quite slowly, you can usually hear that turbo just slowly spooling up. It is devious. Just a shame IETs don't reflect that power. Yeah, one mad statistic though. On a 5-car IET, you have 36 cylinders, V12s for each. An HST has a combined 36 cylinders. 32 cylinders. Because it's 16 in each. Yet with 4 less cylinders, an HST, can still be quicker after 45. With less cylinders. And another fun statistic I learned on Sunday at the Plymouth Valley Railway HST Enthusiast Day. The engines in an HST, not only are they V16s per power car, but they're also 43 litres. Which, take your average car, it's probably a 1.9 litre N96, maybe a 3 litre V8, but then a 43 litre V16. That is, like, that's new levels of. That's a lot of power. To be honest, I don't know what the literage is on an IET. That's more research. Engines. 21 litres. Okay, so you are vastly lower, like per engine. Because if we're talking a full HST, that's 86 litres. Then again, if you're talking 21 times 5, you're only actually producing 63 litres per 5 car IET. So you're 63 litre V36 effectively. But yeah, you've got effectively an 86 litre V32 for an HST. So that would explain why they're similar, I suppose. Yeah, currently passing through Teignmouth. So IETs are your V12 4-stroke turbo diesels. What's that CR? Selective catalytic reduction. Never heard of that before. The braking on them is electro-pneumatic disc braking and regen. And they're Delna couplers as well. Yeah, GWR have 36 800s. How many O2s have they got? I'm dreading this. So 60 built. It's 21 litre displacement again. So GWR have 36. That's how long it takes them to refuel. So a very good question, DBS. Not quite sure. That's the difference between an 800 and 802. An 802 has a slightly more powerful engine, because obviously they were built for Devon and Cornwall originally for GWR, so obviously with more aggressive banks, more powerful engines are needed. So yeah, that's the main difference. I think it's pretty much a copy paste. Then again, all IETs are copy pastes. But in my mind, I've just got that Spider-Man meme now of you know, where there's like the two Spider-Men sort of like pointing at each other, like, hang on a minute. Looks a bit similar. But yeah, so yeah, Spider-Man meme. It's because IETs are literally just copy pastes of each other. They can't even really deny that. They look the exact same, apart from 810s. They look somewhat different. Other than that, they all look basically the same. Only different things are livery. Other than that, they're basically the same. But yeah. Next station is Newton Abbot. We are running, I don't know how many minutes late. Oh my god, have I actually vaguely made that up? Pemmican, of course I haven't. We're still running about a minute late. Yeah, definitely TBS. They lack, any character. They look the exact same. You can tell something's of the same class of unit, can't you? You can tell they're AT300s because they look the exact same. The only different thing is the class character, but that's because some TOCs wanted to be a bit more unique. If they wanted to be more unique, they could have bought some different units, but here we are. All high-speed services dominated by Hitachi AT300s. If I remember correctly, here at Newton, I need to stop near enough to the end. Yeah, I think I'm. Is marker not here? Nope, my marker is not here. It's on that post there. Reality. It was on that one. I know it's on that one, isn't it? Oh well. The stop marker is literally an advisory. So I'm still a minute late. I'm never going to make this up, am I? The guard just said, like, I'll give you a fighting chance. Yeah, one complaint I have with this route is these markers. They're not up there anymore. In reality, they're about here now. That's still too far. They're about, like, here. Yep. They, for some reason, just moved the markers from there to here. Don't know why. Yeah, pretty much DBS. Everything nowadays is speed, money, not comfort. Yeah, looking at these signals here, one thing I will point out, and this accounts for pretty much all of from here in Newton to Exeter. Echo 188, that's LED now in real life. It's not halogen anymore. So, yeah. Slight inaccuracy, but it's nothing major. And Alla Junction. For some reason, this always gets called Newton Abbot West. Which, it does annoy me a little bit. But then again, Alla Junction, Newton Abbot West Junction, they mean the exact same thing. So, I'm doing a cool 61.5 mile per hour. I'm just going to idle. But yeah, the line going off to our left there, going up there, that takes you up towards Paynton. Merging off here, we now join the Devon Banks line, which will take us now all the way to Plymouth. There are only 3 stations between Newton and, well, 2 stations in between Newton and Plymouth, not including Newton or Plymouth. Your intermediate stops are Totnes, next station stop, and Ivy Bridge. We're not booked to call there. We're booked to go straight through. And to be honest, they're both fun places to spot at. The only downside I have with Totnes though is it looks very run down. And to some degree that's been reflected here in game as well. Given some good tones trackside. Oh, I never turned my DSD back on. Yeah, it can stay off. So yeah. There's a good spotting spot here. The Gold Dayton bank here. This is, yeah, generally a decent place to do some spotting. Although, obviously, you're on a country beat road effectively. It's 60 mph traffic, and the corners are quite blind here, so. But honestly, here you can get some pretty decent views. So now we're just working up one side of Dayton. Oh, where's this? This isn't. Is there a road that goes past here? I'm not sure. I don't know if this is King's Dayton Quarry or not. Nah, it can't be. Bugger. Yeah. So there you've got Dayton Tunnel. Separates the up from the down effectively. So at the moment we're working up one side of Dayton. Go straight out of Newton. Then we'll work down the other side, which will take us basically straight into Totnes. We're still about a minute and a half late. Oh well. Yeah, then it's a 6-minute cruise down Rattery Bank. Oh no, actually, in fact, they were only about half a minute late, actually. Hey, we got some time back. Yeah, down the other side of the bank here, I'm not even gonna accelerate. On the way up, it's like a 1 in 50 bank, I think. And on the side, you can see it's, yeah, gone to, what, 1 in 43. So quite simply, fuel economy. Don't accelerate at all and just let the gradient do it all for you. Just use the brake. I love Devon Banks because there's quite a few you can just be very lazy on. You know, like going up Rattery, I could probably just leave the power in. Because on this side it's an uphill. Then Rattery, no, sorry, Hemerdon, it's a huge downhill. And you know, again, all I have to do is be lazy, use the brakes. Happy days. So yeah, Rattery, I can probably just leave the power in. Because that's a semi-sharp gradient itself. Yeah, then Hemerdon, near enough Plymouth. It is literally just a huge, what, 2.5 mile, oh, yeah, 2.5, 3 mile bank. Yeah, it's a killer for steam. Um, you can get steam going up to single, well, going down to single figures up there. And yeah, we're going down it, so I can just use the brakes, like I am here for the other side of Dainton. So yeah, Dayton flattens out about halfway down from this side, and then it'll go back downhill, albeit not as aggressively, to basically run the final bit into Totnes. Of which you're 45 effectively into the loop, 25 when we, well, it's 25 once we hit the platform. Single flash in yellow, that's a good sign. That'll mean I'm routed into the platforms, I believe. On this side as well, it's not too far away. Look out for the South Devon Railway, Totnes Riverside. In reality, the rails are pretty much just over that hill there. There you go, 1.6. Totnes. Actually, are the rails literally the other side? Yep. Welcome to the South Devon Railway. To be honest, I would recommend the South Devon Railway. It is amazing fun. Oh, and here's Totnes Riverside. Pause the game and now it renders. Though what I'll say is, if you're coming here when it's been icy in the morning, take extreme care, because this bridge here, it's all wood. When I went there, it was, well, to say it was slippery was a bit of an understatement. Like something else. Like I was literally just shuffling along that bridge just to make sure I didn't fall over. It was just basically fully white, that bridge was. Oh, and the steam heating didn't work either, I don't think. At least if it was, it wasn't working very well. It was freezing. In fact, that video is when I'm editing after this stream. So yeah, most likely keep an eye out for that in the morning. If it's not in the morning, it'll be probably Sunday morning. There it is. Totnes Riverside. It's actually good fun doing some mainline spotting there as well. Because sometimes you'll have drivers on the main line giving tones as they're going past, which I find really cool. Sometimes if the drivers on the steam locos here at the SDR. If they give whistles, typically you'll have the mainline drivers just whistle in response. Right, there's my stopping marker. Wait, which one is it? Is it this one or is it this one? I'm going for the further down one. That's too far down for me. I'm going this one. Welcome to .NES. Yeah, what I mean when I say this place is run down is all over here, here as well. This building has many a smashed window in it. There's graffiti all along here. It does honestly just look very depressing, to say the least. It's all overgrown as well, as you can see. At least it's been slightly replicated here. All the shrubbery and grass. Like, the station itself, it's not bad. But when you look here, it's upsetting, to say the least. You know. Yeah, it's just... it does not look good. And certainly for, say, people visiting Devon, it does not shed a very nice light onto this county. Albeit this probably won't be the first thing you see in the first place anyway. But still, it doesn't give a very fond opinion, you could say. First class has actually had the doors open this time. Damn. Anyways, how late am I? Can't wait to see this. Come on, game. I am running. Oh, you know what? We might have an on-time departure coming up here. Come on. At power. If I can get past that signal by the time it turns to 8:15 in game time, I'm considering that an on-time departure. That is very... okay, no. Still about a minute late, but that is it. Very barely. Like a minute and 5 seconds later as we pass the signal. That is very good. If we set the limits, we might be able to get that back. Because I do have a 1 minute pathing allowance. I have to have a stop junction, so if I can keep 1 minute, I can get that back. Which means we arrive into Plymouth on time. Speaking of Plymouth, our next and final stop. Then we would have fully completed 1 Charlie 1 1. This leg of the journey is meant to take around about 23 minutes. Is Voyage still going for it? So yeah, straight out of Top Nest, you immediately hit Rattery Bang. It is a slight killer. This Voyage is still very unrealistically going for it though. Is there an acceleration braking improvement patch on this? Because this still feels way too quick. There might be. Let me just put in 220/221. Alerted controls, updated consists. That's a shame. Alert sounds. Alert controls, updated consists. That's a shame. Unless this is actually realistic. Which I don't think it is. Right. It's bad to think this is my first stream since Christmas. No, not Christmas. New Year's. What a mental stream that was. Overall it was about, was it 4.5 hours? About 4 3/4 hours, sorry. Which is spread over, what was it, about 7, 8 o'clock New Year's Eve to about, like, what was it, 1 AM New Year's Day. And it wasn't, it was about half past midnight. It's the first time I've ever done like a crossover in a day. And it ended up being a crossover of a year as well. Thought might as well though, mightn't I? Might as well do a crossover. I am drastically speeding. Too far, probably needed that. Extra 7. That's because the gradient's now flattening out as we get to the top. Rattery, that takes it like straight from the top of Rattery. So I could be running on time now, I don't know. I'm going to use Aish as my timing point. I know exactly where that timing point's from. I use Ivy Bridge, Hemerdon, because I've been marking it from the top. Tabby Junction, Lara, Lipson Junctions, and then Plymouth are the remaining timing points. There's a lot of coasting, isn't there? There's a lot of coasting. I've just been slowly slowing down, haven't I? A little bit of power back on. Yeah, I think I might try get all my editing done tonight. Up until now. So it'll be Plum Valley footage. Plum Valley footage. SDR footage and the footage I got today. Which, to be fair, that's not a very big video of what I've got today. Yeah, pretty much we're now just back to coasting. Voyage is just so like powerful to the fact that you can just coast. Let blow a little bit. That's fine. And I'm now going hilariously over. And I've missed timing myself over H. By the way, this is H here. Now it's got Hammered and emergency crossovers and things. Yeah. Ivy Bridge. Ivy Bridge can and will be next. Accidentally nearly dropped that into emergency. It's when I can drop it out of emergency, which is quite nice. It's over bridge. Only been spotting here once in real life. It's fun, but the platform is very tight. So, in real life, it's not. It's because you can't fit two tripods next to each other. How far have I still got left to drive? So Ivy Bridge, 27. Okay, I'm actually gonna say we're near enough back on time. In fact, it's not we're nearly back on time. We are on time. So we are now 11 minutes. More trackside. So that's how long we are until we arrive, DBS. We are about 11 minutes. 11 to 10 minutes away. Until we terminate. And to be fair, I won't send this into Lara, because this would continue on. I think it's 1 Sierra 45. Up towards. In fact, is it 1 Sierra 45? Oh god, more things for me to check. Yes, it is 1 Sierra 45 up to Aberdeen. So we're not too far from Plymouth at all. Good that I finally got back on time. That is quite difficult, I'll be honest. But hey, we're back on time. We're good. Fair enough, DBS. It's walking around in Plymouth, I'd say it's a bit on the dodgy side. But on the station, it's honestly quite pleasant. You know, you've still got the HSTs running around, of which they are stored at Lara. Which, if you're coming from this direction that we are at the moment, you actually go straight past Lara, and you can often actually see into the depot. So, you know, going down and spotting there, it's yeah, it's pretty pleasant. But I'd say the place itself is a bit, let's just say, a bit dodgy. Not sure what you mean by that. DBS is Plymouth Elizabeth Town Centre different from in the country? Not sure what you really mean by that. But yeah, no. I mean, Plymouth is a pretty dodgy hotspot. Oh, the 80. That's the top of Hemerdon. Time to go 80 mile per hour down the steepest bank in Devon. True, welcome back. I'd say the layout is probably a bit different. Well, it is pretty, I suppose, urban to some degree. DBS. It's very like built up area. So I'm in Void. Hemerdon 8:31. We're passing 8:31 and a half. We are back on time. But no, it's pretty built up in Plymouth. And you also got the dockyard and things as well. So it's in a way quite a it's quite a built up area. Anyways, 78 mile per hour, coast, and let it roll. Hey ho, there's 81 mile per hour already. Let's see how. Yeah, fair enough, TVS. To be honest, the West Country is one of those places. Like, in the summer months, to be honest, it's hell down here. It is very busy because you've got places like Torquay, Exmouth, Paynton, Plymouth, Cornwall. So yeah, it's just generally hellish. Not to mention, you know, off when there was the Maisie Day in the air show, back last year. Oh my god. That's all it needs to. The amount of fare evaders was very high. I think it was something like 25% of passengers or something didn't actually have a valid ticket. So, it was mental. So, yeah. So, yeah. Now just flattening out from the bottom of Hemerdon. About to have a last minute AWS right before the Morpeth. There's the Morpeth, there's the AWS. By the time the AWS pings, you're pretty much faster. There it is. Wanting me to slow down to 60 for the curve. And then we're back to 70 straight past Lara, and then, yeah. Actually, I've put some AI down here, haven't I? Forgot about that. I also put some in Exeter. I never showed the ones in Exeter. You can see there's a good amount here. At Tavistock Junction, home of 2 tampers at a time. But yeah, let's go this road here. Been along this recently because I had to go Plym Valley, which in reality is only about like up here or somewhere. It's relatively close. It used to have a mainline access bit, but yeah, they then built a road and, well, I think it was without permission from Network Rail as well. They built the road, which then basically invalidated the railway. But yeah. But usually when you see me driving a Euro truck down in Plymouth, on that big roundabout, that is where it branches off. Goes down, then actually goes over the main line. And then down, that's the roundabout. So yeah, it's a bit annoying that it isn't modelled in game, but yeah, pretty much. You're coming off, there's the mains, right there. And then there's Lara. Quite a fair bit of stuff I've put in there, including what actually worked, what we've today. Let's go have a look. So we have 802.112 set here. Very nice. 166.204 and it's 165, isn't it? Yeah, 165.112. You cannot run 165s into Cornwall, gauging issues. So pretty much, if you ever see one down here, it's because of, needing to use a wheel lathe. We then have what actually worked, what we've worked today, is 221116. I would have swapped 114 for 116, and then had 114 sat here, and then we would have driven 116, which would then have been completely accurate to today, but to be honest, I didn't think about it. And yeah, we were driving 114 Vice, would have actually worked in real life, 116. If I'd have actually thought about that, I'd have put 116 on, 114 be sat here. We also have 221122 sat here as well. This will be ready to work off depot at a moment's notice. And working down Montgold, reversing up into Plymouth, ready to work a service. We also have 158798 here, GWR's only true 3 car with an MSO in the middle. It's quite nice. You can see it's a bit of a sharp curve here, so there is very much a gauging issue. It's alright here, but yeah, slight problem. Fuel road, I have to put that in. And I'll give you the biggest talking point. The HST 43098, but 098? Oh, yeah, 098. No, that says 093. Berkeley Castle with the old common vinyls. This has apparently now gone to an emergency power car, so this will only see use as and when it's really needed. Then we've got the usual castle set layout, a TGS, a TS, TSD, and then another TS. Trailer standard disabled, trailer standard, trailer guard standard. And then on the back here, 43189 Launceston Castle. Quite a good power car this is. I believe I've been in the clean air compartment of this one. Very good. That sums up the bare minimum I've put in here at Lara. I've not put anything in the sheds. There's no point. But yeah. Overall, this is a very good depot. Yeah, I know one of the drivers from in here. Yeah, he's amazing. They have a good sense of what's it called? Humour. Good sense of humour down in Lara. Everything they do is to very high quality. Yeah, obviously the home game at the moment is Lara Junction. This is mostly for if you're doing in-depot moves and things. Usually say, hey, we'll send up Lara Junction and we'll transfer it from there. If you're coming in from the station or up to the station, you usually come off here at Lipson Junction, down around, up McGold, and then reverse to wherever you need to be. You don't typically work from Plymouth to Lara Junction and then back in. There are only a few services with normal working timetable that will do from Lara to Plymouth via Lara Junction. So not one or two. And then again, it's not even guaranteed that they'll do that. So yeah, this is now all that remains. We'll send over to platform 7, we'll be realistic. And over there. So, Plymouth. Yeah, it is very built up in Plymouth. Turn DSD off for the last bit. Actually, I'll turn it back on. That could be handy. Yep. So, the tunnel we're about to go into is Mutley Tunnel, which you then get a semi-steep descent actually in towards Plymouth. But yeah, Mutley. Obviously, here it just looks like your conventional tunnel. The other side is a huge multi-story car park. So yeah, quite cool in its own way. AWS. Single yellow route indicator 6. Don't know why that's not saying route indicator 7, but oh well. It's a 6 in a theatre box anyhow. But I know I'm let into platform 7, so that's fine. As you can see by that little board just in front of us, AWS with a cross on it. AWS is no longer applicable after this point. So we're going to go over here, like so. These are somewhat aggressive points. Yeah, just slightly. And hey ho, we're arriving into Plymouth around about a minute and a half early. Look at me actually cooking for once. I'm actually driving well. Oh, game lag. Come on, game, stop lagging. None of us want to hear this low horn any longer. There we are. So that's random stop. There's also a marker down here. Why are there two? I will stop here. This one. So we're actually stopping about half a minute early. So engine shut down here. Just put the tail lights on. Key out. And well, there we are. We'll set the dot matrix screen for Aberdeen for the next driver. Usually see drivers do that, setting them ahead of time. But hey, there we are. Welcome to Britain's Ocean City. Welcome to Plymouth. Not a bad run, to be fair. So all in all, we did just over 2 hours of driving. Like 2 hours, 1 minute. Or it could have even been spot on 2 hours. Yeah, now just check down to platform 7. I digress. It's a job well done. $13, yeah, it would be from Penzance. DBS, yeah. From Plymouth, you're looking at, well, still 10 hours, to be fair. Bearing in mind that would have been work today wholly by, what's it called? 116. Obviously, me being me, didn't change it over, so in game, 114 would work it. I'm not working that tonight though. Hotel lights, search Aberdeen, blind down. Who just walked into my cab? Hey, I didn't grant you access to my cab. Anyways, yeah, Aberdeen. Yeah, okay, I'm fully shut down in here. Can turn the ADBS back on. Keep the ADBS, no, not the ADBS, the tilt isolated. Now, deepest condolences. If you hear any music, I'll shut up immediately if there is. That's because there would be. Right, cool. So that's just the outro music being a little bit preemptive. But yeah, overall, that is a very solid bit of driving. I don't know what the mileage was. I'll get the mileage in a second, because the game will tell me how much I've driven. I don't actually know how much I've actually driven. Oh, not bad. 127 miles. For those who prefer that in kilometres, 205. That's a good amount of mileage for 2 hours. Bearing in mind most of that was spent at about 100 mile per hour. That ain't bad. And that's taken us, well, since I hopped in the cab, 2 hours, 6 minutes and 58 seconds. Take off about 6 minutes to set up. I don't know, take off about 3 minutes of set up, maybe 4, about 2 minutes to shut down. That is pretty much spot on 2 hours. That's taken us, which to be fair is some pretty good mileage. So yeah, on the dot, it pretty much is, yeah. CBS. Been live for about 2.5 hours. It's not bad. Not bad for the first full stream of the year. Quite happy with that. So yeah, that has been the full length of 1 Charlie 1 1. Pretty decent. A Western Voyage. I like that name still. Pretty decent. But yeah, the reason why I just called it a Western Voyage is just because, Voyage, Voyager, Western, in the West Country. Good spin on words, eh? This chair's still creaking. But yeah, since next stream 250. How are we at 250,000 streams? My God. What do I want to do for 250,000? I don't know. I'll find something completely bogus to do. Whether that be a huge lash up, or well, anything. I think of something. Yeah, that'll probably be, I want to say tomorrow or Sunday. Don't quote me on that. It could very well perhaps be neither. So, take that, with a grain of salt, let's say. I'm not very good at, sticking to certain time frames. But yeah, could be tomorrow or Sunday. But yeah, pretty good stream. I think it's now into the outro. I'm going to drink and try to do that in one go. First time I'd have said this year as well. So, there's a link to 2 Discord servers. No, 3. Forgot about that. 3 Discord servers in the description down below. My old server, my newer server, and Oscar's server, which I helped set up. So that's why that's there. Feel free to join any of the 3. However, please note you need to be 13 or above to join as per Discord terms of service. Feel free to like and subscribe as well. Feel free to like to tell me that you like what we do here, and subscribe to never miss another stream or video, and to help this channel towards the goal of 350 subs by April. It feels weird not saying 300 before the end of the year. I got so used to saying that. But no, 350 by April. Let's see if that's feasible. However, I don't know if there's a lot more for me to say. So, on that note, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next stream or video. Take care all. Hope to see you there. Cheerio.